Hello and welcome, Exiles. Let me make the case for why chance orbs suck. They need to change, they're not healthy for players, and they're not good for the game. First off, if you need to chance orb an item, you have to right-click one time, left-click, right-click, left-click. That's 4 clicks every time you want to chance orb an item. I have 12,000 chance orbs clicked on this item. I've clicked over 50,000 times on this one item. And you might be saying, Lance, you're only making this video because you're salty. Yeah, I'm a little bit salty, but this isn't a position that I'm new to. This is something I thought before I did chance orbing. I always was on the outside looking in thinking, man, chance orbing looks really, really unfun. This is the first time ever I have felt forced to do chance orbing thanks to the Crucible mechanic. And I would invite you, if you think chance orbing is a good mechanic, you click 10,000 times on chance orbs on an item. Every time you hit a unique, throw it away and tell yourself you're unlucky, and then keep clicking. And then come back to me when you've clicked this thing with 10,000 chance orbs and tell me with a straight face you think it's a good mechanic. Outside of chance orbs, chancing into unique items, they have no purpose. Realistically, chance orbs are not good for crafting. They are not good for anything but buying maps and chancing. And quite frankly, all you need to do is make the vendor price different, so you don't need chance orbs to buy a map, maybe make it alterations or something else, and then take the thing that chance orbs are good at and make them good at it and not just a terrible experience. These things should be 100 times rarer and 100 times more powerful. The I got screwed case should not be I clicked an item 30,000 times. It should be I clicked it 300 times. The I got lucky case should not be I clicked 300 times. It should be I clicked 3 times. This is quite frankly ridiculous. This is the first time in PoE I've woken up the next morning and my wrist is still in pain. I have noticeable lasting pain, which is just dumbfounded to me. And I've spent the last 3 play sessions doing nothing but chance orbing. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, it's not a fun experience. Why am I saying chance orbing is kind of mandatory in the current league mechanic? Well, in my opinion, there is no way to reliably craft uniques in Crucible mechanic. Let me break down why combining uniques just simply doesn't work. If you're combining a unique, say you have item E, you have bad mods you don't want, and you have an item B, which has bad mods you don't want, you're going to say, let me craft this item. Let me throw it in the Crucible and craft this item. Well, guess what? You're going to get a combination of all the bad mods you don't want, because this doesn't generate new mods. This doesn't re-roll your mods and change them to something else. There is a very, very, very small chance a mod gets mutated and becomes something different. The odds of the mod getting mutated, for one, are low, but if it gets mutated, what are the odds you hit another mod you want? Extremely low. This is not crafting. This is not I wouldn't realistically recommend this as a way. I couldn't say, hey, in my guide, this is how you craft your unique item. You take your 2 trash mods and you throw them together and a unicorn miracle happens and you get a usable item in terms of Crucible. As far as uniques are concerned, this mechanic doesn't exist. As far as SSF concerned, if you're thinking uniques, it uber doesn't exist. Because realistically, if you're going to get a unique item with a mod you want, the only way you're doing it is you're getting 100 of that item and you're taking that into the forge and you're adding a tree and you're doing that with 100 different items. All of a sudden, you've either ran out of supply, ran out of money to afford buying the item, or quite frankly, even after 100, you probably haven't really hit that good of a tree to justify even using the unique you want to use. You might say, hey, but power creep, uniques are too strong, they don't deserve this power creep. Yes, there are a few abuse cases. An abuse case like an Emperor's Vigilance because for whatever reason they decided to give the mod 1,000 increased armor and energy shield rather than giving it a balance of armor and energy shield and armor and flat. I don't know why that is. There is some broken cases, but there are a very few amount of them, and largely in this game, rares are just better than uniques. At the top end, they pretty much always are. The rares have the much more powerful ability to be imprinted, to be retried, to be making perfect for trees. It is feasible to do so. If you give uniques, the only option is combining them. You cannot remove trees. You're just realistically never making a good Crucible tree for your unique items. And quite frankly, for me as a build maker, there's been a lot of times when I'm like, okay, I want to make a build with this unique. And then I remember, oh wait, it's Crucible League. I do want to do stuff with a new mechanic. I can't just pretend the new mechanic doesn't exist. And I'm just left thinking, do I want to play standard with uniques to try to use some uniques I like with some of the new change things, or do I play Crucible League and I just pretend unique weapons and shields don't exist, because realistically I can't take advantage of those with the new league mechanic in a feasible way that would be cool or interesting. I'm just making the case for this specifically because this requires you to Chance Orb. The only realistic way you're getting a good set of mods on a unique item is Chance Orbs. And Chance Orbs are horribly unfun. When I was in the Chance Orb process, let me show you a little diagram I wrote up here. This is how I perceive Chance Orbs. I think, realistically, if you get it under 1,000, you're lucky, and you're lucky enough to be maybe having from doing Chance Orbs. If you're only doing 1,000, you might still be able to look at it and be like, man, that was kind of fun. I hit the unique. Well, guess what? Guess how lucky you really are. The average is maybe 10,000. I don't know. That's just a guess. I've had a lot of people come into my stream and say, I hit the shield in 1K. I hit the shield in 25,000. I hit the shield in, oh wait, I'm still counting. I've spent 185 divines and I haven't hit it yet. There is ridiculous standard deviation variance that can occur. And the version of lucky person, does it really outweigh everybody else that is getting completely and utterly screwed here? You have 5 to 10k, which I'm pretty sure might actually be below average, and you still think it's torture. I thought it was torture. I was not having fun after 1,000. I didn't like it after 1,000. After 5 to 10,000, I thought this is torture, but maybe when it's finally over, the item might be worth it. Now that I'm at 10,000 plus, I'm just thinking, I'm doing this out of spite, and if I hit the item, I'm not even going to play the build I was excited about. I am so much don't want to look at the shield. I don't even want to play shield throw. Shield throw is a skill I like to play, and doing this mechanic has made me not want to play shield throw because of how unfun it is, and just the memory of how many times I've clicked and how much time I've wasted. Click, 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 and it's something that just chips away at you. I don't think this should exist. This shouldn't be something where you get to get this level of unlucky, because this level of unlucky just is going to make people quit the game. I think it's a quit the game orb. People start out, they either get lucky and they keep playing the game, or they get unlucky and they just quit the game. That's what this orb does. Right now in its current state, you get the I'm in pain, I have a wrist injury now, I don't want to look at PoE, or you got lucky, you get to play the game, but at the same time, you still didn't have a fun time. In like the most of the cases, you still didn't have fun. Because pretty much everything after 1,000, it's pretty unfun to click Chance Orbs. Sorry, this was a bit more of a ranty video for me. I am a bit frustrated with this mechanic as a whole, and if I sound passionate, that's as I am. I would prefer the game get better than worse, and I don't want the game to continue to have this mechanic in it, because it's just bad. Hopefully somebody on the dev team will think, is it a good mechanic? Let me try 10,000 Chance Orbs, and maybe they click 10,000 times, and maybe they'll report back to the other devs and say, hey, this mechanic is terrible. Let's actually do something about it. Because currently in the game, people are being forced to do this if they want power, and you know PoE players are going to force themselves to go for that power, and quite frankly, it's going to result in a lot of people end up hating the game and being more jaded towards PoE after the fact. I'm a guy who loves PoE, always tries to look for the positive, and generally has been okay with some level of friction. And even this has kind of got me on edge of wanting to play the game or not. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. As always, take care, Exiles. Peace out.